Tobias Jacob Brewer, November 30th, 2022, 2:30 a.m. Local residents of Cocoa, Florida, are awoken with the sounds of sirens blaring throughout the night. Dispatch reported a phone call from a concerned woman reporting that her son's friend had murdered his mother. Officers arrived at the scene, finding a critically injured woman laying in the laundry room of the suburban home. The victim, Carol Gray, age 69. Allegedly, when asked who was responsible, she took a deep, labored breath, stating, "Toby," referring to 17-year-old Tobias Jacob Brewer, who lived with the victim. The exact relation between the two is not known, but is believed that Brewer is the son of the victim. Noticing Gray's registered black 2022 Kia Rio was missing from the driveway, police began a search. Using an emergency service installed on his phone, authorities triangulated his general location to Titusville. Before even having a chance to respond, a new location was pinged. Catching up to the suspect, a traffic stop was attempted. When confronted by officers, the suspect fled south on I-95. Exiting and heading east on US 1, Brewer inevitably lost control, leading him to crashing into a wooded area. Surprisingly, exiting the vehicle with 3 other occupants, all of which were seen fleeing into the woods. Shortly after being placed into custody and detained for questioning, occupants were revealed to be 2 of his friends and his girlfriend. After being read his rights, Brewer allegedly told deputies that he struck his guardian with the frying pan until the handle broke, stabbed her multiple times with a pocket knife, and before leaving the scene of the crime, stole money from her purse, continuing to tell deputies that he was upset about persistently being told to clean his room. Being tired of cleaning his room, but more tired of her harping on him about it, he decided to take matters into his own hands. Carol Gray was airlifted to Holmes Regional Center for treatment, where she was last known to be in critical but stable condition. Brewer was charged with attempted first-degree murder, criminal conspiracy to commit a capital felony, fleeing with disregard of safety to persons, and grand theft auto of a motor vehicle. Marissa Grace Smith, September 13th, 2022, Louisville, Ohio. In a small park around 4 in the afternoon, an officer is flagged down by a frantic bystander. The witness reported an alleged stabbing. Swiftly responding to the concerning claim, backup in the form of fire rescue, paramedics, and other officers were requested to the scene. Authorities, along with emergency services, arrived at the scene, finding the victim, Michael Devin Morris Jr., suffering from a perceived knife wound. Responders valiantly administered life-saving emergency assistance and transported Morris to hospital, where sadly he would later pass away. Prior to the incident, a group of teens decided to meet for an arranged fight. Though the authorities did not state an exact reason for the altercation, testimony in court revealed that members of the 2 groups had past unresolved issues. Shortly after the crime, Marissa Smith was arrested and charged as an adult, facing 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and a single misdemeanor count of aggravated criminal trespass. During the court case, witnesses testified that the defendant retrieved the weapon from a 15-year-old male counterpart's waistband and proceeded to approach the victim while yelling angrily. This particular 15-year-old also was arrested, facing a count of carrying a concealed weapon, aggravated criminal trespass, felonious assault, and multiple counts of murder. Pleading not guilty and being charged as a juvenile, the now 16-year-old's trial is set for later in 2023. Friends of defendant Marissa Smith claimed that the victim pulled Smith towards him, leading to the fatal stabbing. The family of the victim condemned Smith for not informing police of the incident, standing by and allowing the demise of Morris to take place. Marissa Smith was charged and found guilty of 1 count of felony murder and 1 count of felonious assault, therefore being sentenced to life in prison with a mandatory 15 years served before possibility of parole. Trevell Breeland, Joseph Brooks, Jakwon Buchanan, and Jaylen Frazier. May 6, 2023, Chicago. In 1 week, Officer Ariana Preston will be graduating with her master's degree in jurisprudence. As she approached her home after a long shift, still wearing her uniform, a car drove by. Thinking nothing of it, the young, innocent woman entered her front yard. Suddenly, shots rang out just around 2 a.m. as assailants grabbed her gun. Preston, who was struck twice while also being grazed as well, would go on to lose her life at hospital, honorably being killed in the line of duty, though wasting true potential and tragically ending a bright future. Leading up to the murder, from May 5th to the 6th, a violent spree of robberies were taking place in the quiet suburbs of the Windy City. Since the heartbreaking occurrence, Preston's mother, family, and friends have been strongly advocating an end to the violence in the streets in an effort to save another family from such heartache. Her mother is going as far as to attend every court hearing of the suspects, accompanied by Chicago police for support in her endeavor, truly showcasing the dedication and determination of a mother. 4 local teens of the area were identified as suspects. 2 19-year-olds, Trevell Breeland and Joseph Brooks, an 18-year-old Jakwon Buchanan, and a later announced 16-year-old named Jaylen Frazier. All will be tried as adults. Thanks to the tireless efforts and cooperation of multiple law enforcement entities, such as the FBI, ATF, along with the police department, the alleged suspects were swiftly apprehended. Each individual involved had extensive histories of violence, removing multiple dangerous threats off of the streets, but sadly, only after a tragedy. Due to these offenses, the judge denied each one bail. All 4 defendants face charges of murder, burglary, and robbery. Breeland and Brooks will be charged with 5 counts of felony robbery individually, while all but Brooks will be charged with arson. Additional charges include possession of a stolen vehicle and unlawful use of a weapon.